Alright, so I'm back with another playthrough of Star Realms Frontiers solo. And I think I'm going to try for the Nemesis Beast again on, I think, what do they call it? I think it is medium difficulty. So let's see. Intermediate. So you know what? I think I will do intermediate, where players take 2 turns each before the boss's first turn. So I'll go ahead and do that because I think before I didn't even take multiple turns in previous playthrough. I just went first, and that was actually veteran. So I'll go a little easier on myself this time with intermediate. Players take 2 turns each before the boss's first turn. And again, we're playing with Nemesis Beast. Basically, they will be able to draw a card, and based off of the faction color of the card that's drawn, it's actually drawn into like the trade row. So based off of that faction that it's a part of, it does a series of different things, and most of them are bad for me. So let's get set up here for that. So Nemesis Beast, put that here. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my eight scouts and 2 vipers, I think. 1, 2, yep. And then we have the explorer trade cards. These are always just out as part of the market. So I'll just put it right here. And then we have the rest of the cards, which are just extras for multiplayer of the scouts and vipers, and then we have additional scoring cards. So let me separate these out. This will be for me. This will be for you know what, red will be for the Nemesis Beast. I always actually like to use red whenever I play with some sort of AI or boss, because red to me always signifies someone like evil or someone who's not good. And let me confirm what the health is. They call it authority, so let's see. So the boss starts the game with 50. I always have to refresh my memory because it's not always the same when you play. So we have the 50, and then each player starts with 50 as well. So I'll start with 50. I'll shuffle my little deck, starting deck. We'll place that here, and then my health will be 50 as well. So let's do that. All right, and then we'll just shuffle these up. And then we'll draw out 5 for the trade row. And then let me just double check that the camera is straight. Let's see. It looks about right. See? Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it. Should be okay. We'll draw out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just as a reminder, it says on the boss's turn, you scrap the card in trade row furthest from the trade deck, and that's going to be this card. You move all of them down 1, and then you flip over that card, the next card that would go here, and then you would look here to see what the Nemesis Beast would do. So when they scrap the scrap card actually becomes a number of combat that they have each turn, so it will eventually increase every turn. So let's go ahead and take our turn. Our first turn, we do draw 3, and let's see how that goes. 1, 2. So I have 2 scouts, 1 viper. I don't know. There's not much out there, so I'm gonna have to just probably buy an Explorer, which is always, you know, a card available to be bought. So I'll spend my 2 to get the Explorer, and then I have the Viper, which is just one combat. So we will bring down the Nemesis Beast to 49. Draw my new hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll go one more turn, and then it will be his turn. So I have 4 scouts, which means I can buy something worth 4 from the trade row, 4 or less, and then I have 1 Viper. So with the 4 scouts, I will get Patrol Boat. I really love Patrol Boat because of how much it can do just on this one card, which it could give you 4 combat and 3 authority. And then if I had another blue faction, I could also use the ally power, which is 2 additional authority. So I'll go ahead and buy that for the 3, and then let's see what comes out. So I did have 1 scout left over, but there's nothing worth 1 that I could buy. And then I'll use the Viper to attack by 1. So I'll draw my new hand. 1, 2. Now shuffle this. All right, 3, 4, 5. That's my hand. And then let's see what I have. I have a bunch of scouts, the Explorer, and 1 Viper. So I'm not doing too much damage on the Nemesis Beast, unfortunately. So let's do his turn. So on his turn, he scraps the card closest to the deck. So that's 1. And then we just move all the cards down. And then flip this over. And it is a red faction. Red faction says each player puts a random card in their hand on top of their deck. So I'm going to just put this face down, shuffle it up a little bit. And then I'm going to just choose a random card to put on top of my deck. And then he's going to attack me for 1. So now I'm at 49. All right. So now it's back to me. I have 4 cards because I had to put 1 on top of my deck before. So I have 3 trade, and I will use that to get Light Cruiser, which is also another favorite of mine. Target opponent discards a card, and also gives me 4 combat and a bunch of ally powers too. If I had more yellow factions played. So I spent my 3 on that, and then I'm going to use my Viper to attack Nemesis Beast for 1. I'll draw my new hand. And not bad. I have my Patrol Boat, so can't beat that. So now it's the Nemesis Beast's turn. He'll scrap the card. We'll move these down. And then he will do a blue faction action. And that says for each player, the boss gains 5 authority. And there's only 1 player here, so he gains 5, which means he's back at 50. I don't think he can gain more than his starting authority, so it will cap at 50 here. And then he attacks me for 2 combat. So I'm at 47. All right, so now it's my turn, and I do have a Patrol Boat, which means I could do 4 combat damage. But let's take care of the trade stuff. So 3 scouts and an explorer, so that gives me 5 total. And let's see what's good. Oh, I'll get Enforcer Mech. And this gives me 5 combat, and I can scrap a card in my hand or discard pile. So I like that. So I'll buy that for 5. Using up all of my I always want to call it coins because you're essentially buying stuff with it. But I think it's just called trade. Let me confirm what that is so I continue using the right term here. Trade. It is just trade. Okay. So Patrol Boat, I am going to play this. It's going to give me 4 combat and 3 authority. So I'll give myself 3 authority, which brings me back up to 50. And then he will go down by 4, so he's at 46. All right, so it's his turn. We could do this a little quicker since we know what we're doing. Green, for each player, the boss destroys target base or gains 3 combat. I don't have a base, so he will gain 3 combat in addition to these 3, so a total of 6. So I am down to 44. Oop, I didn't draw my hand. Let's do that now. So I have 3. Let's see, shuffle. 4, 5. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we have 2 Vipers this time and 3 Scouts. So with the 3 Scouts, I will buy the Captured Outpost. And this one will allow me to draw a card and then discard a card. And of course, it has this outpost symbol. And then I have 2 Vipers. I will attack for 2. So Nemesis Beast is at 44. And I am at 44 as well. On my new hand. Nemesis Beast gets to go. And then it's a red. So each player puts a random card in their hand on top of their deck. So I'm going to just shuffle my hand up. And then put 1 on top of my deck. And he attacks me for 4. So I'm at 40. It's not looking great, but it's still a bit too early to tell. All right, let's see. So I have a total of 4 trade and 5 combat, but I actually could trash the Explorer card to get 2 additional combat, and I think I'll do that because I have a lot of trade already. But let's see if there's anything I would have wanted to buy with 4, and it looks like there is not. So, you know, I will trash this to get 2 combat on top of the 5 here. So that's 7 combat. So he is down to 37. All right. And then I still have 2 trade to spend, and I will spend it on, I'll get Blob Miner. All right. So that's that. Draw my new hand. Perfect. So there's my new hand, and then the Nemesis Beast will get to go. We have a yellow. Each player discards 2 cards. Not good, but I think at least I get to choose which cards. So I will definitely be discarding my 2 Scouts. And he will attack me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm down to 35 now. So he's got just 2 more authority more than me, which is fine. Back to me. I will use my Scout to buy Builder Bot, and then we'll use Patrol Boat and Light Cruiser for a total of 8 combat and 3 authority. So I'm back up to 38 and attacking for 8 combat. So that is 29 for the Nemesis Beast. And then I'm going to shuffle my deck. All right. And then we have a green. For each player, the boss destroys target base. I don't have one, so he does gain 3 combat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a total of 9. So that's 29 I'm at. So currently tied with the Nemesis Beast. So I have a total of 2 trade. I'll spend that. I'll get Blob Miner. It's not gonna be too helpful. What I needed was Plasma Bot. That would have been helpful. Anyway, so I have a total of 7 combat. So he is down to 22. Draw my hand. Oop, 1 too many. All right. And then goes away. Then it is a blue. For each player, the boss gains 5. So he's at 27. but he will still attack me for, let's see, 7. So a total of 7. I'm going to separate this out into piles of 5. So 7, so I'm down to 22. All right. 4 scout. Let's see. I get plasma bot, and that's leaves me with 2, and I will use one of them to buy Frontier Hawk, and that's all I can do. Frontier Hawk is nice because it gives you 3 combat, and I can draw a card, discard a card. And then Patrol Boat gives me 4 combat and then 3 authority, so that brings me back up to 25. So 4 combat, he's at 23. So it kind of looks like we're doing some sort of balancing act in terms of who's winning. All right. Take this. Yellow. Each player discards 2 cards. I'll discard my 2 scouts just without even looking at the rest of my hand. And then he will attack me for 8. So I am down to 17. All right, let's see what we can do here. So I'm definitely going to put this base out, the captured outpost, so I could draw a card, then discard a card. So I'll go ahead and do that. Discard a card, I'll be discarding Builder Bot, unfortunately. So I'll do that. And then I have Bob Miner, which I could spend 3 trade on. So I'll do that to get the light cruiser. And then we have the light cruiser, which is great because I get 4 combat, and then I could target opponent for them to discard a card, which means I get a total of 3 more combat on top of that, since the boss can't actually discard a card. And then because I use this captured outpost, which is the same faction as this card, I can use the ally effect here, which gives me even more combat. So I have a total of 9 combat, I believe. So I will attack him for 9. So what's that? 14. And then let me draw my hand. Game is going to be pretty tight, it looks like. So, all right, and then it's a green, so that means for each player, the boss destroys target base. So he destroys this outpost, and then he attacks me for 9. So let's see. I am down to, okay, 17 minus 9. Okay. So down to 8. Had to do that one by one because I had a brain freeze on that one. Okay, so let's see. I will get to do quite a bunch here, so I can spend this on nothing, unfortunately. So I will just discard that since it doesn't serve me any purpose. But I have 2 light cruisers, a plasma bot, and a patrol boat. So the light cruisers, I can use the ally effects, and I think I could use them both. So that means I have a total of, because it also allows me to discard a card each, 4 plus 3 for the discard plus 2, so that's 9. And then 4 plus the discard, which is 3, which is 7, 9. So it's a total of 18 right here. So these 2 alone, if I'm playing correctly, these 2 alone, I can totally take him out. So already, without even looking at the ally, I think. No, that was including the ally. So 18 total for the 2 light cruisers. And that means he's dead because he only had 14 authority. So that was actually a quick one. I didn't expect to win that quickly. I guess I got lucky because I had these 2 cards come out. Which is, for me, it was a surprise because I'm not sure if I even bought them back to back. I shuffled that way, I guess. or it just happened to come out in my hand. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Probably quicker than the other one, which is nice. And maybe I will switch it up next time. I think I really enjoyed playing the Blob Assault. That was fun, but I felt like I didn't have a chance of winning at all because the Blob deck had very specific cards in it, and I found it very difficult. I have also tried what is it? Defy the Empire, where basically all the yellow faction cards like this with this symbol became the boss's deck, and they had a chance to specifically buy from those decks, and they actually built their own deck basically to play with. So that was fun because I feel like Defy the Empire really simulated playing with another player the most in terms of the card usages. So so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and you know, stick around for the next one.